Implants under the muscle. Here we go. I already have implants under the muscle. Is it possible to have them redone and get them changed to dual plane or over the muscle? Yes. Number one, short answer, yes. Now, it's really confusing, this dual plane thing. To be honest with you, it's confusing with plastic surgeons, let alone with patients. So I'm not surprised that patients are a bit confused by the dual plane terminology. So dual plane refers to implants that are under the muscle. When implants are under the muscle, what you can do is you can create a second plane, hence the name dual plane. So you put the implants, you have a muscle here, the pec major muscle, you put the implants underneath the muscle. And you can make, as well as making a plane underneath the muscle, you can make a plane on top of the muscle as well. That's the dual plane. And it's particularly useful for people who've got a bit of a droop to their breast. You can release the breast off the top of the muscle so that the breast will sit with the implant. Because one of the risks of putting implants in when people have got a bit of a droop, particularly when you put them under the muscle, is the implant's held high and the breast sits low and they don't sit together. So you really want the implant to sit with the breast. And so you can create two planes. That's a dual plane. Now, there are three types of dual plane, type 1, 2, and 3. And type 1 dual plane means that you don't have any significant subglandular dissection. So it is purely underneath the muscle here. Now, when you put implants underneath the muscle, this part of the implant is always always on top of the muscle, if you like. So the muscle is just for the upper and medial part of the implant to stop it from seeing ripples or to feeling the edge of the implant. So it's your pec major muscle. If you look at what your pec is, your pec goes across your chest to here. So this piece of implant is never under the muscle. For a cosmetic augmentation, different if you're doing a reconstruction, but for a cosmetic augmentation, it's always under the muscle once, just this. So even if you haven't got any subglandular dissection, so basically a normal submuscular implant would be classed as a dual plane type 1. So all implants that are under the muscle are dual plane of some different variety. So to say, can I have implants that are under the muscle changed to dual plane, is like, well, they already are dual plane. You could potentially have a different type of dual plane. You could make another, a varying degree of subglandular dissection if you haven't got it, but they already are. But you could certainly have it changed to subglandular if it's under the muscle. So you've got to ask yourself why. I mean, the problem, people often come and say, can I have them under the muscle because they're better under the muscle or they're better on top of the muscle? There's no better way of doing it. It's not like one's better. And that's why it's all about judgment. It's about seeing what your anatomy is like to make a judgment to see what's right for you. And so there are pros and cons of both. So if you've got them under the muscle, the good thing about under the muscle is that it hides up, particularly in the upper pole. The implant's hidden. It's less likely to have rippling, less likely to see the edges, feel the edges of the implant. That's the good thing about putting them under the muscle. The bad thing about putting them under the muscle is it hurts more. Sometimes the muscle can hold the implants up high, and sometimes you can get animation deformities, which means when you exercise, the breasts move. So if you're having problems with the under the muscle, you could change them to a subglandular plane. You could change them and put them on top of the muscle. But the worry that I would have is that someone made a decision at some point to put them under the muscle for some reason, and it might be that reason still there. So you might think, well, am I going to then be able to see them or feel them or get rippling or what have you? So that's one worry. Now, it might be that you put on weight, you were very slim when you had first, and then you put on weight, so you've got a bit more coverage, so you can hide them by putting them on top of the muscle. Well, there might be a reason why it might be a good thing to put them on top of the muscle. You might be having an absolute nightmare with them under the muscle. But it is a bit of a, so the answer to the question is yes, you can change the plane, but you've got to think about why you change the plane. It's more common to change it from going on top of the muscle to under the muscle. But that's for patients who have on top of the muscle and then they have rippling, or you can see or feel the edges of the implant, and then you can put it under the muscle. That's a sort of more common way to go in terms of changing plane. But still, you can still change it from submuscular to subglandular, but it needs a proper conversation to make sure that's the right decision, and you're happy taking on the potential risks of putting them on top of the muscle. So whichever way you have it done, you've got to take on the potential risks of having it done that way, because there are risks of having it done both ways, but there are also benefits of having it done both ways. So you're just hoping that your benefits are going to outweigh your risks. And of course, this is all theoretical because you don't know until you have it done, but that's the nature of surgery. It's all like just, numbers game, and really what's the likelihood of getting a good result this way, and you've got to balance it yourself and decide which one's going to be better